Hey there everybody, it's Baka here with another episode of Wide World of Geek. Now, the plan for today was pretty simple. I was going to cover all the major news items from San Diego Comic-Con, which happened this past weekend. However, in a very surprising turn of events, San Diego did not give us a ton of really good new news items. A lot of the really cool things that happened seem to happen just leading up to San Diego or happened outside of the con but at the same time. A lot of groups that had panels at the con had larger events in the surrounding community. Nerdist channel and Geek and Sundry on YouTube, while they had all their panels and did a lot of hosting of other panels, they threw parties and had meet and greets and whatnot at different coffee shops, clubs, comic book stores, things like that. The big two publishers, Marvel and DC, this should have been their time to announce all their big things. But something that's been happening in the last couple of years has been they will make a major announcement about 2 weeks before Comic-Con. And it will be for their next big thing. And then they'll just tease it though. Just a little tease. And then for the next 2 weeks they will tease just a little bit more and a little bit more. Until the time San Diego comes around, they've teased all the information out of it that anybody cares about. Marvel Now this happened with. About 2 weeks ago they announced, the next big thing after Avengers vs. X-Men. They gave us a lot of teaser images, what's going to happen, what's this, what's that, and then they started making news about it. It's not a reboot. It's going to have new teams, new number ones. It's not going to be, something that happens over every single title. It's not going to necessarily affect all the titles all that much. There will be some new things. Uncanny X-Men's going away. Uncanny Avengers is now taking its place. I can understand them wanting to hype it to get people to come to their panels at Comic-Con. But then when the panels just repeat the same information, it's kind of boring. A lot of the reviews of Comic-Con panels said that Marvel's was just kind of ho-hum. DC's wasn't that much better. The biggest news from DC was Jim Lee and Quentin Tarantino crashing the Before Watchmen panel with news about a mini-series coming out from Quentin Tarantino at DC called Django Unchained, which is based completely on the script that he wrote for his movie called Django Unchained. This movie does look kind of interesting. It stars Leonardo DiCaprio and Jamie Foxx. Go online, Google it. Django's D-J-A-N-G-O, I think. But there were a few really interesting things that happened, even though half of them didn't happen at the con. For about 4 or 5 days leading up to San Diego Comic-Con, there was a relay event called Course of the Force. This was put on by Chris Hardwick and the Nerdist channel, along with LucasArts. And what it was is it was a relay marathon type thing from Los Angeles to San Diego, where the runners would run with a Force Effects lightsaber and hand it off to other people. Celebrities were involved, regular people were involved, kids. Their pace vehicle was Jabba's pleasure barge. And they aired all this stuff on YouTube, on their channel. And the great thing is all the proceeds, all the donations went to Make-A-Wish Foundation. That was a big event leading up. It went from Santa Monica Beach to San Diego, and it helped raise a lot of money. It was a great cause. Another event that was taking place during San Diego that was related to the con but didn't happen there was the Walking Dead escape. Now, Robert Kirkman and AMC put this on. It took place at Petco Park, home of the San Diego Padres. And basically what it was is it was an obstacle course where you pay money, you enter in one end, and you have to make your way through. And they had zombies set up, trying to tag you, trying to basically catch you, turn you into a zombie. You had to go through different obstacles till you could get to the evacuation center. It was basically a live-action theme park type of zombie adventure. I saw a couple YouTube videos where a guy actually taped himself going through it. It looked really fun. That's definitely something I wish I could have been there for. At the con itself, the group that probably had the most news, even though it wasn't new, if that makes any sense at all, was Marvel Films. Marvel Films did a lot of announcing of what their next movies are going to be, what's in development, gave titles, gave release dates. The biggest news was supposed to be that Guardians of the Galaxy is their next big franchise. This news wasn't new, though. It's been rumored and speculated and all but guaranteed for the last year. With the appearance of Thanos during the end credits of Avengers, having something cosmic between or before Avengers 2 seemed like a necessary thing. They gave a release date of that for August 1, 2014. Whether that means they've started filming or not, I'm not sure, but probably not. They announced the release dates for the next Thor movie, the next Captain America. Thor: The Dark World will be opening November 8th of next year, 2013. Captain America: The Winter Soldier will be April 4th, 2014. That one I'm really looking forward to. I love the Ed Brubaker arc with the Winter Soldier. For those of you who don't know, Cap's sidekick Bucky, who is in the first movie and ends up dying. He's basically saved by the Russians and brainwashed and is made into their own version of a super soldier assassin. He's kept on ice until he's needed, and in the end he ends up breaking free from his conditioning and etc., etc., becomes the second Captain America, goes back to being the Winter Soldier in the comics. We'll see where the movie takes it. Another movie that's they were said is in development, and it's been in development for about 10 years, is the Ant-Man. Ant-Man is originally, in the comics, a founding member of the Avengers along with the Wasp. He did not make an appearance or even have his name dropped in the Avengers movie, which upset a lot of hardcore fans. But they are trying to make a movie about him. My guess is that if that movie gets made, it will be made after Avengers 2. It will deal with the creation of either one of the supervillain prisons he makes, or perhaps the basic, maybe teasy idea of creating Ultron for an Avengers 3. They showed some new footage from Iron Man 3. They had some armor up at Comic-Con, and they did a little confirmations. They confirmed Ben Kingsley's character as the Mandarin. They showed the new Extremis armor, because that appears to be what the storyline is mostly going to be about. And that armor is just kind of weird to me. It's mostly this goldish yellow, not shiny like gold. It's kind of a dull gold, and it takes up most of the armor with just bits and pieces of red. The other big panel to happen at Comic-Con was the Firefly 10th anniversary panel. 10 years ago, Firefly was born and died on Fox. Since then, it has become extremely popular. They made a movie, Serenity. It is one of the biggest cult classics in terms of DVD sales and loyal following. They had all the original cast there. They had Joss Whedon. It was a pretty emotional time from everything I've read. And it started a lot of rumors that they were going to go back and make a new Firefly series or something like that. And the most that could be confirmed is that there will be more Firefly comics in the future. Which the Firefly comics, they were pretty good. Not all of them were great, but you know, they continued that story, which was nice. One thing that happens at Comic-Con every year is the Eisner Awards, and I'm just going to name off a few people who won Eisners that were fairly notable. For Best Penciler or Inker, what went to Ramon K. Perez for Jim Henson's Tale of Sand. Mark Waid won Best Writer, Best Single Issue, and Best Continuing Series. He was kind of, I guess, if this were the Oscars, he was the big winner of the night. It's not usually that common for a single person to win that many awards in a single year. And my favorite category and favorite winner for this was Mike Norton, who won for Best Digital Comic for Battle Pug. Now, Battle Pug is a comic that I've been reading online since its very first comic somehow. I kind of stumbled onto it. Mike Norton, for those of you who may not know, is a penciler who's worked for Marvel and DC, for Image. He worked on Gravity. I think he worked on Teen Titans. Don't quote me on that, though. He works a lot with Sean McKeever, who's an excellent writer. They met when they were working on The Waiting Place. I've had a chance to meet both of these guys. Extremely great guys. Really nice. But other than that, Comic-Con was just there. Now, I'm going to be starting a new segment on this that's going to happen once a month. It's going to happen right smack dab in the middle of the month, and this is going to be my Kickstarter plug. For those of you who don't know, Kickstarter is a website where people or creators will put their products out there that they want to launch, they want to gain popularity and be successful and ultimately make some money on, but get them to the public. And people will pledge money for it. And if it gets to 100% of the goal, then the people's money goes into it, they get charged, the product has the better chance of being made. A lot of these things that reach their goal go beyond their goal. The more they go beyond, the more things they can do with it, the better they can make it, the wider range of people can be reached. And it's anything from art to furniture design, industrial design, board games, video games, film, television, music, books, lots and lots of things. Very geeky, but very geeky cool. So this week, or this month, I'm going to be looking at a product called Shio, Otherworldly Lights. Now this is a really cool furniture design product. So Shio is a design form created by an artist named Daniel McDonald, and I'm just going to read this straight off of his Kickstarter page. It says, Shio is a form of lighted mineral sculpture I invented a few years ago, inspired by my adventures in Yellowstone National Park as a child. The idea, let beautiful physics create beautiful objects. The manifestation, living crystal beings, frozen in time and filled with light. Put simply, gorgeous otherworldly lights. No two are ever the same, and everyone is made by hand in my Seattle studio. Now, the really cool thing about these are that they grow. Not once you get them, but he grows them. He doesn't sculpt them in any classic way. He creates a basic form, skeleton that he calls it, and just using salt and water, these salt crystals grow around this skeleton and create a very unique form that is translucent. He sticks a light on the inside and it shines through, creating a glow throughout the salt sculpture. And what you get is a unique light. You get something that will be a conversation starter, and something that just really, really looks cool. It will be a great addition to any house. There you have it. That is Shio, Otherworldly Lights. If you want more information, just go to Kickstarter.com and type in Shio. There's a video where the designer talks about the creation process. You actually get to see some behind the scenes stuff and how he makes these things. It's really cool. Kickstarter has a lot of other really cool products on there. Anything you're interested in, if it's in the world of Geek even remotely, there's going to be something on there for you. Now, this Friday, we're going to have another Friday workshop. It will be part 3 of Becoming a Better Writer. This is the 3rd and final part of that series. Next week, we're going to move on to a more visual workshop. We're going to be learning a little about how to do some basic art stuff. Hopefully, this next week will be a little more interesting in terms of geek news. More things going on. Until then, I will see you guys later.